For years, it's been the running joke in the tech community. The year of the Linux desktop. We've all heard it, we've all said it. But what if I told you that in 2026, it's not a joke anymore? What if I told you that for gaming, Linux hasn't just caught up, in many ways it's started to pull ahead? Welcome back to Ton Does Linux. Today, we're not just talking about a niche alternative. We're talking about a fundamental shift in the PC gaming landscape. A shift driven by user frustration with intrusive ads and corporate control on Windows, and fueled by a revolution in compatibility and performance on Linux. And at the heart of this revolution, these incredible handheld gaming PCs. The Steam Deck proved it was possible, and now in 2026 we have a whole new generation of devices that are pushing the boundaries of what portable PC gaming can be. So is it finally time to switch? Can you really play all your favorite IA titles on Linux without a headache? And which of these handhelds is the right one for you? Stick around, because we're about to answer all of those questions in our complete 2026 guide to Linux gaming and handhelds. So, what makes 2026 so different? Why is this year the tipping point? It comes down to a few key factors. First, and most importantly, Proton. For those who don't know, Proton is the compatibility layer developed by Valve that allows Windows games to run on Linux. And in 2026, with the release of Proton 10, it's nothing short of magic. We're talking about thousands of games, including brand new 888 releases working on day one. The performance overhead is often negligible. And in some cases, games actually run better on Linux thanks to better resource management. Recent benchmarks from sites like Phoronix and TechSpot have shown that with modern AMD and even NVIDIA GPUs, the performance gap has virtually disappeared. We're seeing a 1 to 5% difference in many titles, which is imperceptible in real-world gameplay. This isn't a compromise anymore, it's a legitimate, high-performance gaming platform. And the ecosystem has matured around it. We now have incredible gaming-focused distributions like Pop, Zwar, OS, Nobara, and Bazite that make getting started easier than ever. They come with all the necessary drivers, tools, and optimizations pre-installed. It's no longer a weekend project to get your system ready for gaming. It's a 20-minute installation. Of course, the biggest catalyst for this Linux gaming explosion has been the success of the Steam Deck. It put Linux gaming in the hands of millions. But in 2026, the landscape is much more crowded. Let's break down the main contenders. First, the king, the Valve Steam Deck OLED. At around $500, it's still the best budget option. Its OLED screen is gorgeous, and because it runs Steam OS, the software experience is the most seamless and optimized. It's not the most powerful, but for the price, it's an incredible package. If you're on a budget or just want the most user-friendly experience, the Steam Deck is still the one to beat. Next up, the powerhouse, the ASUS ROG Xbox Ally X. This is the result of a partnership between ASUS and Microsoft, and it's a beast. It runs on the AMD Z2 Extreme processor and packs 24 gigs of RAM. It's the fastest handheld we've tested, capable of running Cyberpunk at high settings. It runs Windows, but with the new Xbox full-screen experience, it's much more controller-friendly than a standard Windows handheld. At $999, it's a premium device, but you're getting premium performance. And then we have the challenger, the Lenovo Legion Go S. This is where things get really interesting. Lenovo is now offering this device with the Z1 Extreme processor and SteamOS. That's right, a third-party handheld with Valve's operating system. It's slightly faster than the Ally X in some benchmarks, has a beautiful large LCD screen, and offers the superior software experience of SteamOS. At $829, it's a compelling alternative for those who want more power than the Steam Deck but prefer the Linux experience. So, which one is for you? It really depends on your priorities. For the best value and software experience, it's the Steam Deck. For raw power and the ability to run any Windows game, it's the ROG Ally X. And for a powerful Linux-based alternative with a big screen, the Legion Go S is a fantastic choice. The great news is, in 2026, you have options. Now, it's not all perfect. While thousands of games work flawlessly, there are still some caveats. The biggest hurdle remains anti-cheat. Games that use aggressive kernel-level anti-cheat are still the biggest pain point for Linux gaming. While many developers have enabled Proton support for their anti-cheat, some major titles are still holding out. So if your primary game is one of these, you'll need to do your research on sites like ProtonDB to check its current status. It's getting better every month, but it's the one area where Linux still has some catching up to do. Another thing to consider is the learning curve. While gaming-focused distros have made things incredibly simple, you're still using Linux. You'll need to be comfortable with some basic terminal commands and be willing to troubleshoot occasionally. The community is incredibly helpful, but it's not the hand-holding experience of a console. For many of us, that's a feature, not a bug. It gives you complete control over your system. So let's bring it all together. In 2026, Linux gaming is no longer a niche hobby for tinkerers. It's a mature, high-performance platform that respects your freedom and ownership. The performance is there. The compatibility, for the most part, is there. And with the incredible lineup of handheld gaming PCs, it's more accessible than ever. If you're tired of the direction Windows is heading, if you want more control over your hardware, and if you love the idea of a powerful, portable gaming machine, then yes, 2026 is absolutely the year to make the switch. Whether you're building a new gaming PC or picking up one of these amazing handhelds, the world of Linux gaming is ready for you. What are your thoughts? Have you made the switch to Linux for gaming? What's your handheld of choice in 2026? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this guide helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Ton Does Linux for more tutorials and reviews. Until next time, happy hosting and happy gaming.